Did you know that there are countries in the world where Muslims live without a single mosque? Imagine being a Muslim in a place where you can't gather for Friday prayers, celebrate Eid in a communal space, or even find a place to learn about your faith. This is the reality for thousands of Muslims living in countries like Slovakia, Cuba, Estonia, Uruguay, and Monaco. Despite being a global religion with over 1.9 billion followers, Islam faces unique challenges in these nations. This is the story of resilience, faith, and the struggle for religious freedom in places where mosques are absent. Islam is one of the world's largest religions, practiced by people from diverse cultures and backgrounds. From the bustling streets of Jakarta to the serene landscapes of Morocco, mosques stand as symbols of faith and community. But not every country has a mosque. In some nations, Muslims are a minority, and their religious practices are often overlooked or restricted. These communities face unique challenges, from finding spaces to pray to preserving their cultural and religious identity. This video explores the lives of Muslims in countries without mosques, shedding light on their struggles and triumphs. Slovakia, a country without mosques. Slovakia, a small Central European nation, is known for its picturesque landscapes and rich history, but for its Muslim population, life is far from idyllic. With only about 2,000 Muslims, Slovakia is one of the few countries in Europe without a single mosque. This absence is not accidental. It's the result of a law that effectively bans Islam as an official religion. "We don't have mosques in Slovakia," says Ivan Netic, a spokesperson for the Slovak Interior Ministry. "We don't want Muslim immigrants to feel at home here." This policy has left Slovakia's Muslim community in a difficult position. Without a mosque, they must pray in private homes or makeshift spaces, often facing discrimination and isolation. "It's hard to practice our faith when we don't have a place to gather," says Amina, a Slovak Muslim, "but we remain hopeful that one day things will change." Cuba. Faith in the face of adversity. In Cuba, a country famous for its vibrant culture and revolutionary history, Muslims face a different kind of challenge. With only 3,000 Muslims, 0.03% of the population, Cuba is one of the few countries in the Caribbean without a mosque. Despite their small numbers, Cuban Muslims have managed to build a vibrant community, often gathering in rented buildings or private homes for prayers and religious activities. "We don't have a mosque, but we have each other," says Pedro, a Cuban Muslim. "Our faith is strong, and we find ways to practice it, even in difficult circumstances." In 2015, the Havana Muslim community submitted a request to the government to build a mosque. While the foundation stone was laid, the project has yet to be completed. "We're still waiting," says Pedro, "but we won't give up. A mosque is more than just a building, it's a symbol of our identity and our faith." Estonia, a minority in a land of churches. Estonia, a Baltic nation known for its medieval architecture and digital innovation, is home to a small but resilient Muslim community. With only 1% of the population identifying as Muslim, Estonia is one of the few European countries without a mosque. Instead, Muslims gather in apartment rooms for prayers and religious activities. "We don't have a mosque, but we make do with what we have," says Fatima, an Estonian Muslim. "We hold Arabic classes, Quranic studies, and community events in our homes." Despite their minority status, Estonian Muslims have managed to preserve their faith and culture, often facing challenges with grace and determination. "It's not easy, but we're proud of who we are," says Fatima. "Our faith is a part of us, and we won't let anyone take that away." Uruguay, a small community with big dreams in Uruguay, a small South American nation known for its progressive policies and stunning beaches, Muslims are a tiny minority. With only 300 to 400 Muslims, 0.1% of the population, Uruguay is one of the few countries in Latin America without a mosque. Despite their small numbers, Uruguayan Muslims have managed to build a close-knit community, often gathering in private homes for prayers and religious activities. "We may be few, but we're strong," says Carlos, a Uruguayan Muslim. "Our faith unites us, and we support each other in every way we can." While Uruguay guarantees religious freedom, the lack of a mosque remains a significant challenge for its Muslim community. "We dream of having a mosque one day," says Carlos. "It would be a place where we can come together, pray, and celebrate our faith." Monaco, a tiny nation with big challenges. Monaco, a tiny sovereign state on the French Riviera, is known for its luxury and glamour, but for its Muslim population, life is far from glamorous. With only 280 Muslims, mostly Arabs and Turks, Monaco is one of the few countries in Europe without a mosque. Instead, Muslims must travel to neighboring France to attend prayers and religious events. It's not easy, but we make it work, says Layla, a Monegasque Muslim. Our faith is important to us and we find ways to practice it, even if it means crossing borders. Despite the challenges, Monaco's Muslim community remains hopeful for the future. We may be small, but we're determined, says Layla. One day we hope to have a mosque of our own. The importance of mosques are more than just places of worship. They are centers of community, education, and cultural preservation. A mosque is a symbol of our identity, says Imam Rashid, a community leader. It's a place where we can come together, learn, and grow as a community. For Muslims in countries without mosques, the absence of these spaces can be deeply felt. It's hard to explain what it's like not to have a mosque, says Amina. It's like missing a part of yourself. The struggle for religious freedom. The challenges faced by Muslims in these countries highlight the broader issue of religious freedom. Everyone has the right to practice their faith, says Dr. Amina Yusuf, a human rights advocate. But for many Muslims, this right is not guaranteed. In countries like Slovakia, where Islam is effectively banned, the struggle for religious freedom is particularly acute. We're not asking for special treatment, says Amina. We just want the same rights as everyone else. Government policies and their impact. Government policies play a significant role in shaping the experiences of Muslim communities. In some countries, the government actively discourages the construction of mosques, says Dr. Yusuf. This creates a hostile environment for Muslims. In Slovakia, for example, the government's refusal to recognize Islam as an official religion has left the Muslim community in limbo. It's a form of discrimination, says Amina, but we won't let it break our spirit. The role of Muslim leaders. Muslim leaders in these countries play a crucial role in advocating for their communities. We have a responsibility to speak out, says Imam Rashid. We need to ensure that our voices are heard and our rights are protected. But this leadership is not without challenges. It's not easy to advocate for change in a hostile environment, says Imam Rashid, but we have to keep trying. The story of Muslims in countries without mosques is a story of resilience, faith, and hope. It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit can endure. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep striving for a world where everyone can practice their faith freely.